Welcome to Spotlight on Kentucky, where light shines, darkness retreats. This week on Spotlight, we're going to talk about domestic partner benefits. Many of you are aware that Kentucky passed a marriage amendment in 2004, but many legislators have concerns that our state agencies are not upholding the spirit and the letter of that law. In response to the violation of our marriage amendment by Kentucky's public universities, Republican State Senator Vernie McGahey filed a bill last legislative session that would address domestic partner benefits. This General Assembly, he's filed Senate Bill 112.
Senate Bill 112 to me reinforces the marriage amendment. The marriage amendment of 2004, which defined marriage as being between a man and a woman. As we are all aware, the universities have decided they want to provide insurance for those that are not married, whether it be a homosexual or heterosexual relationship, but not being married. And this bill would prohibit that from occurring. We feel like this bill would bring into constitutional muster what the marriage amendment put forth in 2004 and was overwhelmingly endorsed by the population of Kentucky.
As Senate Bill 112 was discussed on the floor of the Kentucky Senate chambers, Senator Ernesto Scorsoni derided supporters of the bill.
As you can tell, the leadership has allowed a fast track on this measure. I know that they all have the utmost noble and magnanimous and loving intentions with this measure. But others out there do not. They're less than kind to gay Kentuckians. They operate in a very hateful fashion, full of meanness, narrow-mindedness. I remember last year when we talked about this bill, the senator from Washington got up and he kind of resented the fact that I would bring out and point out some of the malicious intentions behind this measure. You know, Madam President, as this country and as countries around the globe are stepping in a direction of accepting gay people and not trying to gay bash, this measure goes exactly in the opposite direction.
I appreciate the good senator for being in agreement with me that this is something of pressing importance, and I appreciate him sharing that concern with me. I do take offense at being called mean and narrow-minded and malicious and having malicious intentions, because I do not. I will not sacrifice in my service to the state my heartfelt convictions. I will not sacrifice what the population of the Commonwealth of Kentucky stated when they passed the marriage amendment, that we not recognize a domestic partnership. And I have no apologies to make for this bill, ma'am. I'm quite proud of it, and I appreciate everyone's support for Senate Bill 112.
The Senate passed the domestic partner bill for the third time in the past year. Conservative House Democrats have filed an identical piece of legislation which has drawn the ire of homosexual activists.
That something happened to me Tuesday that represents the very worst of what I would call scare tactics. I was the recipient, if you will, of a robocall. In the industry, that's one of these things where for mere pennies you can make calls, and people do thousands of them. And there's a special interest group somewhere out there that has targeted me because of my support of that domestic partner bill and called my entire constituency all the way from Reedland to the east side of Caldwell County, which is about 100 miles, and have said, call Representative Cherry and tell him, and they used my personal home number, call him and tell him that we don't want any part of his legislation that will make it more difficult for Kentuckians to get health care. Now, I'm positive in my own mind that 90% of my constituents who got that call, if they had known the background and the full story, they would have applauded my stance and be 100% behind it.
Democrats and Republicans are both concerned this year as well as last year that House leadership will manipulate the bill into a committee where it will be killed.
And, you know, for me, to begin with, I think this bill's in the wrong committee. It ought to be in the Banking and Insurance Committee. This is an insurance bill. It's not about health care. It's about insurance.
The Family Foundation is encouraging citizens to call House leadership and ask them to place the domestic partner bill in a committee where it will receive a fair hearing.
As I say, I'm proud to be there, and we're working to get the bill heard and voted on, but that's a whole different issue at this point.
And has there been any